Hey everybody, Chris Lagarde and Caleb Connect here with the Chris and Caleb Real Estate team, where we are
committed to dramatically impacting lives through real estate. And we are coming to you live from the world's most boring background ever, the plain white wall.
Sorry.
We thought you'd enjoy that.
Yes,
so,
absolutely. Yeah. So, hey, we're here to talk about the market and something a little bit more serious. But for right now, let's talk about the market, Caleb.
Sure.
If you guys go to our website, there's a blog post that was put up this week in regards to what happened in December. And there are some very key things that we want to point out. There's a graphic there that you can go to. I've got it on a computer in front of me right here, which you can't see at all, which is fine. So let's talk about the first thing. Markets are really pushed by supply and demand. And demand, if you look at the stats, they were down pretty decently. It looks like usually we're at around 525 sales for December. We were closer to 370 for December. I mean, that was like below the 5-year average. So right. What the heck does that mean? Is that scary or is it not scary?
Hey, look, these numbers are indicating a market shift, right?
Yep.
So we've kind of been overdue for a market shift for a while. And hey, Chris, shift happens.
It does.
And so it's happening in the real estate market right now. Does it mean we need to panic? Does it mean we're not going to be able to sell houses? Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. What it does mean is we need to make sure if you are looking to sell your home or you're looking to buy a home that you understand the market and that you can be, coached by a real estate agent that knows the market and is going to give you the advice that you need to achieve your goals in that specific market. It's going to be different than it was the last couple of years. In 2019 here, you're probably going to see far fewer multiple offer situations.
Yes.
Okay, some of the more hot areas in school districts, you might still see those.
Which is great for buyers, by the way.
Right. Well, actually, it's been a really tough time to be a buyer the last couple of years. Very, very low inventory, not much to choose from, and dealing with multiple offer situations. A lot of buyers were, making offers on 2, 3, 4, 5 houses before they got the one that they ended up getting.
So go through a few of the other stats that we track. One is sold to list price ratio, which is if you're asking $100,000 and you get 98%, that's $98,000. So last month it was pretty close to about 98%. That sounds like a lot, and it is. However, that's much closer to the 5-year average than it was this time last year. Last year it was like closer to 98.5, whereas this time it's like 98.3 or something like that. Which actually it's a little bit more than that. I think it was closer to about 98.7 and 98.4 or 3. So it is, but it was less than last year, and the drop last month was also below last year, and so there's a big trend that's headed down versus when you look at last year when you look at the graphic, it's much less volatile last year than it was this year in 2018. 2017 was smoother than 2018. All right, trying to get that straight. Inventory accumulation, it started to go up. We are at the same inventory level as we were last year, but what's interesting is that it's actually, the inventory is up from the month before that. So November inventory was lower than December, and that's unusual. Usually starting in October, the inventory level drops off and doesn't recover until like February or so. And then the last one is days on market. Days on market also is up closer to about 62 and a half days, which is where the 5-year average is, where usually it's down. Last year, this time of the year, it was down around 50 days on the market.
Right. So that's, 10 days on market, not a huge difference. However, percentage-wise, that's almost like,
20%?
Almost 20%, 18, 17%. So that's pretty significant.
Yeah.
So one of the things I will say, if you're considering selling your home in 2019, it might be smarter to get the house on the market sooner rather than later. And the reason why I'm suggesting that is the inventory is still quite low right now. Mm-hmm. The days on market and the inventory accumulation that you're seeing now is probably going to get even wider, that gap. So we're going to see more and more homes on the market. It's going to take them longer to sell. So you do have an opportunity now to put your house on the market and not have to compete with as many homes as you will be in April, May, and June. Now, everybody has their own personal circumstances for why they're considering selling. Some people, it's not going to make sense to put the house on the market in January or February. However, if you're one of those people that it doesn't really matter and you're just trying to time the market, it might make sense to meet with a real estate agent now and get the house on the market sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and I'll also say this year pricing may be an issue. You want to make sure that you have an agent that you trust, because and an agent that has enough experience in the market now, because a lot of the agents I talk to right now, they're like, oh, the market was great. You know, it was awesome last year, best year ever. It's going to be great this year. And
they've never been through a shift before.
No.
They never went through 2007, 2008.
Or if they did, they don't do maybe enough business to realize that things have shifted. And so you need to make sure that you get an agent that is aware of that and what effect that's going to have on pricing, because otherwise what will happen is you're going to chase a soccer ball down a hill. You ever do that?
It's pretty hard to do.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Not really. And so what I mean by that is if you price it here and you don't price it right and the price is actually here, the market drops, and like let's say you know it's been on the market for a month, it drops here, and you do a little bit of a drop, and then it drops, and you never quite catch up with it. You got to play hopscotch and just get below it, and that's kind of hard to swallow unless you have somebody by your side that you know and trust implicitly. So
and you have to trust that person, because if you don't trust them, then you're just going to think, oh, they're trying to list my house really, really low so it sells fast. But the problem is this, you know, in a market that we're going to be in, this shifted market that we're in today, and it's going to shift more and more. What ends up happening is, you know, if you make that mistake on the price, like you said, you're chasing it downhill. But more importantly, the problem is if you don't trust your agent and you price it too high, the first couple weeks that you're on the market, that's when all the magic happens.
Yes.
That's when the house is new, it's brand new, nobody's seen it, you're going to get a lot of showings, people will show up, but they're not going to make offers on your house because there are better values to be had elsewhere. And so they'll look at your house, and then every time you try to reduce the price, you're basically just trying to recapture that lightning in a bottle that you had the first couple weeks, and you'll never be able to get that amount of activity on the house again. So price it right. And in any market, whether it's going down or it's going up, we want to price ahead of the market. So in a market that's going up, we say, okay, the last house in the market in the neighborhood sold for 400, so we're going to list ours for 410, right? Well, the opposite goes into play when you're dealing in this kind of market. If the last house sold for 400, we might have to price it for 390. So that's a hard realization for people to get their
especially when they heard
around.
their neighbors sold with multiple offers last year for over asking price, and they're like, you know, well, it's still that way. No, it might not be this year, especially in certain places. We're already seeing that shift. And honestly, switching gears for buyers, really, you want to make sure that you understand the market so that you're not making, like, if you think the market shifted and it's more of a buyer's market, mistakes I see buyers making is they go in too low. They think that, oh, it's been on the market for like 30 or 45 or 60 days, I can get a deal. But all you do is kind of put off the sellers, and they're like, well, we don't really want to, deal with you. And you got to make sure you put an offer in just enough so that they come down, but it's realistic enough that they're going to bite on it, and you won't miss a decent deal. So it's nothing to panic about. You need to make sure you have a good agent by your side. And just so you guys know, the culture of our business, our values are very important to us. You want to tell everybody what our 6 top values are, and then I'll explain what that might mean for a buyer seller?
So our values are fun, responsibility, integrity, gratitude, growth, and achievement.
Yep. And as you guys know, we're just our mission is to dramatically impact lives through real estate. And so the reason we do business is to impact others' lives for positive. And so if you want to work with someone that values fun, life is too short. You got to have fun. Not that we don't take our job seriously, but we want to take the stress out of it for you so that it is fun for you. We take utter responsibility for what we do, whether it's us or maybe vendors that we recommend. The job's got to be done right, or it's got to be taken responsibility and made right. Integrity, we are who we are no matter where we are, who we're with. Growth, gratitude is also very important, and then of course achievement, like you had said. So if that's something, an agent that you want to work with, please reach out to us and give us a call.
Sure.
Cool. So the last thing I want to talk about is not. It's kind of a heavy subject, so if you're friends with me, or we need to share this on our business page, so some clients of ours, their daughter is unfortunately dying of cancer, and she probably only has another day or two to live unless a miracle happens. And so they have a GoFundMe account, and it would just be awesome if you guys, if you're watching this, could go donate, even if it's $10, $5, $25, whatever you can do. I cannot imagine the place that this family is in. Not only that, but the week that they found out their daughter has this extremely rare form of cancer. Her father also died of brain cancer that same week. And then, to heap insult on injury, unfortunately, this sounds like a joke, but her cat died of cancer yesterday. And I'm not kidding you. It's ridiculous, the amount of sorrow that's on this family. And so if you could please, make a donation. I know that it would make me just ecstatic, and I know that would, for the family, that would be fantastic. In the description of this video, there is a link. You can just go there and make a donation and follow. Please pray for them. Things aren't over yet.
Absolutely.
Please be praying. Ask everybody you know to pray for this little girl, Julia. And, we're praying for a miracle. I trust the Lord for a miracle, and I know He can do it. Yet, if it doesn't happen, we want to help the family out as much as possible. So
Absolutely.
Cool, man. Well, thank you guys for joining us. If you need anything real estate related or have questions, please reach out to us. Number's 484-696-4833, or send us a message on here.
Yep. Have a great weekend.
All right. See you
Thanks
guys.
for tuning in.
Bye.